Everybody gangster till the ship starts walking. Egypt with 118 pyramids, but like 3 big cool ones. Sudan with 250 plus pyramids. The sun never sets on the British Empire. USA. USSR. Senate. No one can conquer Gaul. If Caesar goes there, he will die, and we will have more power. Caesar returning to Rome with 1 million kills and 1 million slaves. Al Capone after opening soup kitchen in Chicago in 1930. Soup for you. No one. Ferdinand Magellan when he arrived in the Philippines on 1521. You shall know Spain. Arrives in the Philippines. You're just gonna help us fight against Spain then leave, right? You're just gonna help us fight against Spain then leave, right? Napoleon conquers Italy from Austria. You have freed us. Oh, I wouldn't say freed, more like under new management. Castro opening an ice cream shop to fuel his addiction, while his people suffered under oppression and poverty. This is fine. Promise me you won't cry. I promise. Rome wasn't built in a day, but burned in one. I won't cry. Jews living in the ghetto of Venice. Napoleon abolishing the ghetto. I'm a historian. Oh really? Name 2 of Genghis Khan's descendants. You and me. That's on me. I set the bar too low. Morocco accusing Spain of occupying Ceuta and Melilla. Morocco occupying Western Sahara. Give the US a loan to buy Louisiana from France. France uses the money to invade you. You funded an invasion on yourself. Britain. You can't infringe on Belgian neutrality. Germany. Please show me the law. Belgium. I'm not reading that. Tell me the truth. I'm ready to hear it. T-Rex wasn't the biggest predatory dinosaur to ever exist. Makes a space shuttle better than the Americans. Flies it just once. Abandons it to rot and get destroyed. Leaves. The British. The Spanish. What are you doing in Mexico? The French creating the second Mexican Empire. Mind your own business. What was life in 1300s like? Everybody. England. France. Iran. China. Germany. Italy. Byzantines. Poland. I'm bored. Me too. Do you want to fight for dominance of the Mediterranean again? Brother, you read my mind. The USSR when it accidentally created the best-selling video game on the world capitalist market. Ecuador being the only country that won a war against animals. Signature look of superiority. Fall of the Western Roman Empire. Fall of the Eastern Roman Empire. Newspapers reporting Ernest Hemingway's death after his plane crashed on safari. Oh, I thought you were dead. Hemingway walking out of the jungle with gin and bananas. My death was greatly exaggerated. Bronze Age civilizations. Writing. International trade. Great cities. Massive populations. Some dudes with boats. Soviet Union when they heard JFK was assassinated by a guy who once lived in their country. Am I involved in this crap? XX excuse me monsieur, I think you've got my border, monsieur? This is an Italian war. France, this is the 11th Italian war you've shown this century. Medieval people, plumbing, what that? Minoans, 3000 years earlier. Nobody, literally nobody. When did you become an expert on Napoleonic Wars? Last night. The Napoleonic Wars oversimplified. The Berlin Wall made crossing into West Berlin nearly impossible. A guy with a tank. Pathetic. Spanish colonists. Portuguese colonists. What are you doing in America? That one Latvian colonist establishing Polish colonies in Brazil. Mind your own business. Korea. Japan. Help me, I'm being annexed. Teddy Roosevelt. Haha. When you live in London in the 1930s and need to give your baby fresh air since you don't have a garden, urban problems require caged solutions. when you block the Europeans from using the Silk Road, but then they end up discovering the Americas. 20th century Middle East in a nutshell. You are both descendants of Abraham. Make peace and live together. No. The emperor of the Qin dynasty, who spent literally his entire life reuniting China, watching his kids break it 4 years after he died. Did you do it? Yes. What did it cost? $18 per square mile. Soviet Union. United States. A third world country just trying to vibe. Has to defend a town against 150,000 troops with only 100 of his own. Throws the gates wide open. Sits on top playing a lute. Enemy general thinks it's a trap and leaves. Shooting at protesting students. America. China. Dictator. I will name my country Democratic People's Republic of Citizens. So there will be freedom of speech and democratic elections, right? But you said. People telling stories about mythical creatures. The mythical creatures. Baghdad before Mongols. I promise. Baghdad after Mongols. I won't cry. The 1914 Zoomer. Joined as a drummer because of his inner muse. Will bleed out in a Galician ditch in 2 months. Will brag about how a girl kissed him during the farewell parade. Everyone else in his class signed up. We gonna be dining in Moscow in a week, boys. Yo, we looking kinda fresh. When someone asks you to explain the different factions of the Russian Civil War, Stalinist, anarchist or even Tsarist, it's too confusing. I'm going to war with Russia and France. You'll respect Belgium's neutrality, right? You will, right? Autocrats pretending to be democratically elected. Democratically elected Holy Roman Emperors pretending to be autocrats. Decimus, Brutus, Cassius, Caesar, who was looking forward to having a good day at work in the Senate. Playing Hagrid for free, just to be in Harry Potter. Robin Williams. J.K. Rowling's only British actors rule. When your former colonies ask when you'll be returning their ancestral treasures. American propaganda cartoon. Soviet propaganda cartoon. Nero, after burning 70% of Rome, killing his mother and 2 of his wives, and forcing a guy to be a femboy and marry him because he looked like his old wife. You know, I'm something of an artist myself. When a country in South America democratically and freely votes for a socialist government, that's not very freedom of view, young man. King. Ready thyself, daughter, thou art getting married to a king. Daughter. Oh my, I can't wait to visit foreign courts and marry this foreign king. It's a foreign king, right? Choose one. Cheat on the test, refuse to do the test, study for the test, watch an oversimplified video and hope it's accurate 2 hours before the test. The Russian Empire. A larger military, Russians losing control of Manchuria, Japan getting recognized of their control in Korea, the Japanese. Europeans colonizing across the globe, the United States expanding under the notion of manifest destiny, the Japanese taking notes back quote. Neville Chamberlain. Germany invading Czechoslovakia in 1939. All 3 are going to lie to you. Never ask a woman her age, a man, his salary, a British, what happened to the millions of Irish people in 1845 to 1852. USA in 1776. Stupid British marching in their bright uniforms and lining up in fields. Let's ambush them. USA in 1976. It wasn't fair, the Viet Cong kept ambushing us and fighting dirty. Some random guy on the train. Me explaining how critics of steam locomotives used to say that a woman's uterus would come flying out if the train went above 50 miles per hour. My dad reading the IKEA instructions. Me explaining how the Swedish gave medical supplies to North Vietnam during the Vietnam War. The Crusaders after taking Jerusalem. We did it, Patrick. We saved the city. You show up with uniforms like a freaking Christmas tree and expect to not get shot? Think, Franzos. Think. Prussia during the 7 Years' War. Prussia during the Napoleonic Wars. Animation in 1937. Disney just made the first full-length feature animated movie. Animation in 1995. Pixar just made the first computer animated feature film. Finding a legitimate cause for your problems. Empires. Blaming the Jews. Empires. How men sing about women in the 1950s. How men treated women in the 1950s. Modernizing to save the empire. Ottoman Sultan. The Janissary Corp. Jews. Can I peacefully practice my religion? Christians. Muslims. CIA. They don't know I lost plutonium in the Himalayas in 1965. Mongol history. The 13th century. Everything before. Everything after. Having several cities named after you. Having a country named after you. Having an entire historical era named after you. Ex-German colonies. You have freed us. The British and French. Oh, I wouldn't say freed, more like under new management. Never ask a woman her age. A man, his salary. Warner Brothers what animal the first Looney Tunes character was. Switzerland in the Second World War be like. I'd like to make a toast to the troops. All the troops, both sides. This is literally 1964. Brazilian military. Congratulations, you are being rescued from communism. Brazilian people, please do not resist. British person. For the last time, I don't need any drinking water. Chinese person. But what if it has leaves inside? Longest lasting alliance in history. Portugal, UK. Thank you for watching this video. Tune in at 5 PM British time for a video of changing topic. And at 7 PM for daily juicy memes. Check out my Discord server using the link in the description. Also be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you didn't already.